Cancel culture is an awful thing that does not get called out enough online. People are so afraid to lose their jobs for defending other people who have been canceled that we end up living in this awkward space where there's a lot of individuals who will not speak up when they think something has happened to someone that is wrong. But the Doctor Who actress Alex Kingston has now decried cancel culture, saying, "I don't think people realize how dangerous canceling people is." It says, like most sane individuals in the world, actress Alex Kingston is both absolutely fed up with and ready to move past the entire unforgiving concept of cancel culture. As human beings, sometimes we say things we don't mean out of anger, or we say things that we ultimately change our opinions on. And sometimes we say things that we are very passionate about. And all of those are reasons for cancellation by the absolute lunatics on social media. People will go back through a decade worth of your posts to try to find one little example of something to cancel you by, which is just not right. And it is always amazing to see people, especially ones like actors and actresses, come out and say, "Hey, listen, this should not be something that should be happening." Now, if you don't instantly recognize her name, you'll probably recognize her picture, but she played River Song in Doctor Who and also Dinah Lance in the Arrowverse. Her main story arc was during Tennant's run, but she also did episodes with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi because she was such a fan favorite character and actress. Between 2010 and 2015, she reprised her role as River Song 13 times. And of course, you'll probably also recognize her from the Arrowverse, Dinah Lance, which she did a very good job in as well. But now she's decided to come out during an interview and talk about cancellation, saying cancel culture is terrifying, and this is something I completely agree with. She added, "I don't think people realize how dangerous canceling others is, what that has meant historically." Expanding on her viewpoint, she continued, "My generation is treading on eggshells, not knowing whether what you say will unintentionally hurt somebody. I get really confused about pronouns, for instance, and I'm not confident with how or when to use them." So it seems like she is generally trying to, follow trends and respect people as human beings, but at the same time, she is admitting it is hard to constantly not know how to properly address someone. And then if you address them in a way that they take offense to, that right there is grounds for cancellation. And there are so many actors and actresses who have said this over the years and who have said, listen, it is hard to be a, individual, a public, figure, because everything you're saying is being recorded. And that right there, one viral clip is all it takes for Hollywood to blacklist you. I mean, look at what happens when you just simply don't share the same political opinions as someone like Bob Iger. Like with Gina Carano, they end up firing you and you get blacklisted from the entire industry, and things like this, yes, are not okay. I do try my very best to speak out against cancel culture, and it is also really great to see someone with a lot of influence and someone who people have loved for so long come out and say, this is not the way that we should be living our lives. Yes, sometimes opinions change, and sometimes, of course, you say something you don't mean to, and you apologize, and that's how life should be. You apologize, you move on if you do something wrong, and you just try to grow as a human being. You shouldn't have your career ripped away from you because one person on social media took offense to one or two things that you said. And of course, that's just the world that we are living in right now, especially with how prominent, social media has become. And her coming out and saying this, I do think instills a lot of confidence in people. And of course, makes it so she's even more of a fan favorite. Again, she returned 13 times to reprise her role in Doctor Who because she was such a fan favorite and people do generally love her, but she is decrying cancel culture, saying she doesn't think people realize how dangerous canceling people is, which I totally and completely agree with. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.